Good afternoon. This is Shiloh Broadcasting Service. Welcome to the Trend Talk Show. On this show, we will be talking about trends, things trending, and today we'll be talking about the current trend in bullying in Nigerian schools, secondary schools precisely. And with me in the studio is
Jerry Alomat.
sorry, my name is Deborah Oinle. You're welcome, Mr. Jerry.
Thank you.
Well, um, let's quickly go on a short break. Don't forget to like and follow us on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Shiloh Media Online, and also on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/at Shiloh Media Online. Stay tuned. This is the Trend Talk Show. See you soon.
Welcome to Caleb University in Imota, a place where advanced education meets core values. This academic year, we're particularly thrilled to invite applications from our distinguished nursing science program, along with various other courses for 2023 to 2024 academic year. Our campus, equipped with cutting-edge facilities, offers an exceptional learning environment, especially for our nursing students. State-of-the-art laboratories, extensive libraries, and dedicated healthcare training resources are all part of our commitment to nurturing the next generation of nursing professionals. At Caleb University, our rigorous academic programs are infused with Christian principles, shaping students for both professional success and a life of service. Explore the unique opportunities in our nursing science program and more at www.calebuniversity.edu.org. Alternatively, contact us directly at 0703 727 0349, 0808 451 9880, or 0815 074 8354. Start your path to a rewarding career in nursing and holistic education at Caleb University.
Yeah, so welcome back to Shiloh Broadcasting Service, and once again, this is the Trend Talk Show. And as earlier mentioned, today we'll be talking about cases of bullying. So, Jerry, let's start. I think we should start with what exactly is bullying. I mean, what is bullying?
Okay, basically, I would like us to. I love the topic because it is something reoccurring, something that we are seeing in different communities presently. So, for our viewers out there, I'd like to just iterate us with what bullying particularly is all about. So, bullying, we can just say it is more like intimidation of a weaker person. Once you see that you can outpower someone, and then you take it as an advantage, and then you bully the weaker one by maybe verbal words or by your physical strength or whatever. So bullying basically is just like showing that yes, you are stronger than this person, showing that yes, you are good at words than this person. So all of these things practically we can say is the word bully, because bully in a context is quite wide. It's quite encompassing. It can be verbal, it can be whichever way.
True. I think I really agree with that part of intimidation,
Yeah.
which would actually bring me to the current trend we are talking about today. Because just about 3 days ago, there was this video of someone trying to appeal that a video should go viral just to claim justice for this young student. And it's so funny because I had to first identify this is a secondary school. I mean, why should this be happening in a secondary school? This is pure intimidation.
Definitely.
Like pure intimidation.
Definitely.
So what can you say about this incident?
Practically talking about the incident that happened in the British school at Abuja, we would definitely say this thing is not a new thing. From what we saw or what we can still see on the internet, we know that this thing has been happening for over a long time. It is something that is becoming a reoccurring issue. We can talk about so many events that this thing has taken place practically in schools. So talking about that video in particularly, I was quite touched, seeing the young lady causing harm to another fellow human just like
Lady.
herself. So it is quite disappointing.
You know, it was the incessant slaps for me. I mean, and she was just eating her, and I was like, okay,
And
what
the,
must
the
have?
young lady just looks calm and just receiving the slaps. For me, the other young lady, I believe, if we look at the way she's calm, her composure and everything, I mean, she's one of the persons I believe can put Nigeria in order with her such calmness.
Such poise. I
Yes,
mean,
the way she composed herself despite the couple of slaps landing on her face.
No.
I mean, it is quite.
and at some point, I was noting that it seems it's not just one incident, because there was a part she was sitting, another part she was standing, and there was this, recurring slap. I was like,
Exactly.
what must have prompted? What would they have been discussing that would be that? I mean, that huge.
You know where I want you to see from. The videos we saw two videos
Yeah.
of the slapping and all of that. What about the videos that weren't recorded, or the incident that happened without someone bringing out the phone? That's what I said. I said that incident that happened at Abuja, practically it is something that has been happening. They've been bullying that girl. She was not even bullied by a person or by a girl. I think in the other video we saw
a couple
another
of people
person
too.
slapping the slap from the right to the left, just like that. So
And
I just believe
sorry
it is
to
not.
cut you short. I'm at another point. I'm thinking that with the way she's calm like that, she's taking like this is a normal thing that happens to me. So
Exactly.
probably I
So
shouldn't
it's
care.
from everything I can see, I can tell that definitely this is not the first time it's happening. It has been happening over even possibly months, years, who knows. So it is something that we should talk about, and we must talk about it, because if we keep quiet, there are so many persons dying in silence. Like I said, so many persons are going through the same trauma while in school. Most of these things even happen in boarding school. There is nobody.
It's likely that of course I know the school had their boarding facility and also a day facility,
Definitely.
but probably that setting looks more like a boarding facility.
Definitely. So all of these things happening in the boarding school, they are in no one's care particularly, because if she cannot find solace in approaching her teachers and the likes, definitely she's left to God and herself. She cannot fight for herself. There's nobody to confide in. There are no parents around. So all of these things happen almost in every boarding school or even day school as well. So
This is a serious issue. I mean, this bullying in Nigerian secondary schools. Let's talk more about it. Let's quickly go on a short break. Don't forget to like and follow us on our Facebook and also on our YouTube channel. See you soon.
Welcome to Caleb University in Imota, a place where advanced education meets core values. This academic year, we're particularly thrilled to invite applications from our distinguished nursing science program, along with various other courses for 2023 to 2024 academic year. Our campus, equipped with cutting-edge facilities, offers an exceptional learning environment, especially for our nursing students. State-of-the-art laboratories, extensive libraries, and dedicated healthcare training resources are all part of our commitment to nurturing the next generation of nursing professionals. At Caleb University, our rigorous academic programs are infused with Christian principles, shaping students for both professional success and a life of.
Yeah, welcome again. This is Shiloh Broadcasting Service, and this is the Trend Talk Show. Yeah, today we are talking about bullying in Nigerian secondary schools, especially with the current trend going on that happened at Lead International School, Abuja. So yeah, we were talking about this is not something new. This is something that over the years we've seen various incidences. Can you remind us of some?
We are on air practically, so we cannot for sure name all of
course.
these schools where it happened, but
Yeah.
dates back as far as 2014. We've seen different cases. 2018, same thing. We've even had a child being defiled in a place she's supposed to learn morals, learn all of these values.
Abused.
But that is where she's still abused. So all of these things, I mean, it is back then we look at this as something that happened in the Western world, something that happened in US, happened in some other places, not Africa. But now, of recent, it is something that is always reoccurring, something we are seeing almost yearly. In 2021, I think we had a couple of them. We had a couple of,
and it was recurring.
It is something recurring. It is not just happening and then taking another time before it happens again. And I would always say this: the number of videos we see or the number of complaints we see are not equivalent to what exactly is happening in all of these schools.
True.
A lot is still happening in all of these schools. Like I said earlier on, the boarding school is one major focus. You know, it is almost impossible for the teachers to be with the students 24 hours. So it is something that I believe happens more often than we are even seeing it. So it has happened in 2021, it has happened in 2018, it has happened in 2020, in 2014, happened in 2015, and in Nigeria it is quite alarming. If we look at, I would like to see it from this angle, because the Western world has actually taught us different things and we have adapted it into our system. They've taught us that we should not use cane on the students when they come to school. They've taught us that we should reduce the way we punish the students, looking at the other side of it. But I also love us to see the effect it's having on the students.
I think you're jumping down to the effect of...
Definitely.
Yeah.
The people we are learning all of these things from, what are their histories? What are their stories? What are the things we are seeing there? We see all of these things more, and yet we are still adapting that don't punish the students, don't use cane on the students, that you're harming the students physically and all of these things.
Yeah.
I will tell you, there are so many schools now that there's no use of cane, you can't punish the students, the students can't kneel, all of these things. And this is the way we know in Africa. Even the Bible says so. It said you should punish a child.
Yeah.
The Bible speaks adversely on punishing students or punishing children, because there's one particular verse, I think one of my landlady used to say a time ago. She said, she used to say it in Yoruba, but the interpretation is, it is in the heart of a child that wickedness and foolishness lies. So it is with cane we used to drive it out. So all of these things, even if the Bible can come up with stuffs like this, I think what other aspect can we see from?
Well, I want to quickly pitch this in. You know, I discovered that so many parents do not actually know the extent of bullying, right? They just feel that bullying is merely like this one we're talking about. This is a kind of direct bullying. This is a physical kind of bullying. But they don't know that there is also other types of bullying, especially that indirect kind of bullying where we have this is psychological, this is emotional, and if they don't do something about it, this thing escalates even more than the direct one we are talking about today.
Thank you. I love that angle you're coming from, because basically when we talk about bullying, many persons think it should just be physical harming or like the way we saw it, slapping and all of that. And bullying is far from that. It is not just that. It is one of it, but not all. Basically, I will just say we have three.
Okay.
Just to keep them under like a cover. We
umbrella.
have an umbrella. We have the direct, the one that we saw on.
So that is the one that has to be more physical contact,
hitting, punching, kicking, and all of that. We also have the indirect, the ones that doesn't necessarily need you to raise your hands and all of that. I can just go and meet someone out there and say, Debbie is a bad person. I am bullying you. I am practically bullying you with my words, with body shaming and all of that. Those are indirect bullying, and to an extent, that one even goes further. Yeah,
especially realizing. Sorry for that, but especially realizing that we're in a generation where things like depression and so many psychological issues are so near us. I mean, we are in an environment where these things are near us. So anything anybody's doing, it affects our psychological mind, like straight up.
Even the emotional aspect is something that it's really hampers, really disturbs, because the emotional aspect is something that many persons are going through emotional traumas, but
Yeah.
you don't know because it is not written. Some persons will wear that smiling face, but you don't know what is going on inside because of what they are facing from fellow students or senior students that are around them. And that reminds me of a case that happened, I think, in the place where I was serving some years back. I think in the school, and then we just heard this one did this. It's classmates, but just because that one is older and more bigger, and then slapped him until one of his tooth flew, just jumped out. And we were like, is it this bad? What could this boy have done
Were
to
you a
you?
teacher there?
Yeah, I was posted down there, so I happened to oversee many of these students and all of this. So there's one thing I will always thank that school for, because they handle such cases just like the person stole. Because it is something, yes, it is something that if you don't stop at the very point it starts, it becomes a bigger issue.
It does more damage, you know.
Yes, it goes a longer way, and that was the way they were able to curb it, and it sent tough messages to those students. It became news content, I think, throughout that week. If you enter a class, before you know it, this was don't bully me, don't do this. We have sent a lasting message to those students, and
so anyone that wants to do it would think twice.
We remember that day that this is what happened, this thing is bad, and then he sits up and redress. I mean, that is why we have the Teachers Day. When a child does anything bad to you, you go there and report. That is what I just feel. So the last one I would like to talk about is the cyberbullying, but that one is I think it still concerns our youth, because we abuse social media
in the age of Twitter.
Yes,
my
Twitter.
dear brother.
You know, there's something about Twitter. The spirit of Twitter, I don't understand.
Well, it's no longer Twitter anyway. It's X. Well,
Exactly.
social media X, but
Yes.
formerly known as Twitter.
Popularly known as Twitter, but X. Pardon us for that.
Yeah.
So that particular platform, it has become a place to exchange words.
It's a war zone, sir.
Like, I am just confused. You will see a child. I'll call a child of 15 years.
Well, the thing is, we don't know their children, but I know there are a lot of children behind their keypads, and they can talk to anybody.
Anybody. I don't just understand. That platform called X, it is somewhere you don't want to make errors. You don't want to overstep, because
you don't want to enter into a room full of lions and tigers.
X is just like that kind of room. Your mistakes are considered as the last time you ever commit such. Some persons till tomorrow are scared to post just one post on Twitter because of the outcome. More like they are being traumatized. They have a platform, and yet they cannot use it because of some persons that have just taken it as a job to cyberbully you,
and
just like that. So all of these things goes beyond just the physical. It is quite far from that.
Thank you, Jerry, for calling our attention to all those. This is the Trend Talk Show, and we are talking about bullying in our secondary schools. And don't forget to like us on our Facebook and follow us on our Facebook, sorry, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Let's go on a short break quickly, and we'll be right back. Stay tuned.
Service. Explore the unique opportunities in our nursing science program and more at www.calebuniversity.edu.org. Alternatively, contact us directly at 0703 727 0349, 0808 451 9880, or 0815 074 8354. Start your path to a rewarding career in nursing and holistic education at Caleb University.
So welcome back from a short break. This is Shiloh Broadcasting Service, and again you're watching the Trend talk show. And today we have been talking about the bullying, just about the recent bullying that we saw in a secondary school here in Nigeria. So we have been talking about a lot of things. We've talked about, of course, this is something that had been going on for quite some time now, and we have talked about the types of bullying that we have. Direct bullying, that's the physical abuse and all.
Definitely.
Then indirect bullying, emotional, these psychological traumas actually go a long way. And then we talked about cyberbullying, where we have our, our common social media platform, where we have the common social media platform called X, formerly known as Twitter. Okay, but that being said, what can you say are the causes of bullying, really, especially talking about young ones, talking about students? What are the causes of bullying?
Practically, I want us to come home now. I want us to come home. I mentioned something earlier on talking about all of these moral values going down the drain. It is something that I feel we should talk more about. Our parents are busy sourcing for what we are going to eat and all of that.
Sure.
Our teachers are no longer teaching values. They are no longer teaching moral values
As they should.
as they should. They just teach their subjects and leave. Even our leaders in churches, religious leaders, they don't preach what we used to be taught back then. Back then, the Bible is always like a guide to everyone. But now we go to churches, we dance, and then everything is gone. So all of these things, I think we have become quite lackadaisical on all of these moral values that we instill on children, on students, on pupils. So all of this is where we should tackle all of these things from. A teacher cannot do it all.
They can't.
They can't do it all. That is why we have the parent. A day child or a day school that operates,
student,
a day student that goes to school from 8 to 2 or 3 o'clock at most. After lessons, still gets back home, still spend about 12 hours with the parents. They still have almost all the time to instill all of this discipline. Well, what do we get from the parents? We rather see the domestic violence at home that promotes all of these things.
And I think that's another thing we should emphasize on, because other than the parents, trying to do their jobs and trying to instill moral discipline, whatsoever they do too, whatsoever they do have great impact on these children.
Definitely. We learn. There's this thing that says we learn more by what we see.
Yeah.
So practically all of these, most of them, they experience all of this domestic violence at home. So it is quite easy for them to just take up that character of the dad.
We call it practice.
Yes,
practice what we see.
Yes, they take up what they see their father doing and practicalize it in the school. They see what the mother do. She locks the man in the shirt and say, "You will kill me today." And then we see it's taking place also in other communities that it shouldn't be. So that is where we should tackle all of these things from. But there are other factors that causes all of this. We see differences in appearances. We see some persons, they grow like far.
About that, do we then say that we should try to caution our children's weight? Really, some people have this natural big stature, and the only thing is them trying to override others is where the problem comes.
That's where the problem. You bigger than your age mate
does not
or
mean
colleague
you should override them.
shouldn't warrant that. So, but this is part of what causes it. When you see that, okay, this person is feeble, you can outpower this person, you can do all of this, you take it as an advantage, and then you want to use it to bully your colleague. And most often we even see it amidst senior to the junior. We see the senior students harming the junior ones because, number one, you have the support of other seniors. Number two, you have the support of the teachers. The teachers will say, yes, it's your senior and all of that. So it is quite difficult for the junior to have a say. And most especially, you see them even collecting their feeding
things,
money. Yes, collect their things. That's why those borders. I mean, those borders are going through tough time. They are going through tough. I went to day school, I think I had an experience, but that was until when my sister left, because my senior sister attended the same school. When I was in JS2, I think she was in SS3 then. So she was a senior. That was what gave me a little edge. I could go upstairs.
You had a sister that was a
Yes,
senior.
I had a sister that was a senior. So I could go upstairs, meet with my sister. But any student who doesn't have a senior sister
Dare
or a
not.
senior brother,
They
the
dare not
day
come
you
down
go
upstairs.
up, your life will never remain the same by the time you're coming down. And I started having some of these things when my sister graduated, because I was now left to the hands and the
alone.
mercy of the then SS2 that moved to SS3. So I was in the mercy of those ones. I could not do anything. I couldn't go up as usual again, because once you go up, they'll ask you, get this stuff for me, get this stuff, and bring change without giving you a dime. So all of these things are things that students go, they pass through in school, and it is more of occurrence in boarding schools. Boarding schools, I think, they suffer more from all of these things.
You know, you were talking about practicing what they see the other time, and I realized that apart from even what probably their parents and the likes at home, even what they watch, you see, this is a time of, you know, the video, the TV, and
Even
every
the phone,
other.
the TV is in the hand.
Well, true.
So all of these things,
They have direct influence on these children. Violence. I don't know anything violence and those movies. I say no to them.
That's quite another angle, because I don't know if there is a way you can monitor what your child downloads or what he watch on the mobile phone, or there should be a control. I just feel if there is this moral values every day that keeps coming, no matter what this child is exposed
There'll be a
to,
caution to them in their heart.
yes, there will be a caution to it. Not every child actually does everything he sees, because of
there is a caution
there is
somewhere.
a caution that they've been taught, guided by, molded by. So all of these things make it quite difficult for them to just adapt any nature they see on their screens. So one best way we can handle this is strong moral instilling on our students. We give them more of the advices that parents should give, and also the teachers. The teachers are not left out, because 8 hours in the hands of these teachers it's quite a number of hours in school. So it is something that they should also hold with both hands, and then try to instill, like as if they are instilling in their own child, because we don't know where our own children also we go to. We don't know what they will become. So all of these things are things that we should just try to help ourselves, because a child you don't build up well today,
definitely
we
we'll
end
break
up
down buildings that we are building.
Definitely. So,
And they say that children are the leaders of tomorrow.
yes.
So the kind of children we produce today, whether we like it or not, they turn out to be leaders. So whether they become nonsense leaders, you know, they still become the leaders. So
we
have
become
to
the
put them.
leader we have made them to be.
Exactly.
So
you have to
we
still
should
put them right.
we should not look at it that this is not our child, this is not our child, and then leave them just like that. We should just try the little we can do, add to the little quota that others also can do, and then we get better results from these students.
Thank you, Mr. Jerry, again for those kind words. All right, this is Shiloh Broadcasting Service. You're still watching the Trend Talk Show. Let's quickly go on a short break. We're about rounding off the program. Stay tuned with us. Don't leave us. Thank you.
Welcome to Caleb University in Imota, a place where advanced education meets core values. This academic year, we're particularly thrilled to invite applications from our distinguished nursing science program, along with various other courses for 2023 to 2024 academic year. Our campus, equipped with cutting-edge facilities, offers an exceptional learning environment, especially for our nursing students. State-of-the-art laboratories, extensive libraries, and dedicated healthcare training resources are all part of our commitment to nurturing the next generation of nursing professionals. At Caleb University, our rigorous academic programs are infused with Christian principles, shaping students for both professional success and a life of service. Explore the unique opportunities in our nursing science program and more at www.calebuniversity.edu.org. Alternatively, contact us directly at 0703 727 0349, 0808 451 9880, or 0815 074 8354. Start your path to a rewarding career in nursing and holistic education at Caleb University.
So welcome back to Shiloh Broadcasting Service. This is the Trend Talk Show. Here we are talking about bullying in Nigerian secondary schools. And yeah, we've been talking. Mr. Jerry had really been a great help to us in the studio this afternoon. So yes, back to you, sir.
Practically, there are really a number of effects all of these things causes. So I would just like us to see some of them, because many of them are even going through all of these things and we don't know. We don't know. You might not see an injury on a child, physical injury, but he or she is going through different kind of trauma. Like some are in depression, but we don't know. I just believe when we have closer look or closer attention with our child, we'll be able to know most of all of these things. Some of them are having suicidal thoughts. Some of them are thinking, what's life all about, because of what they are facing in school. And I don't just want to mention, we have a number of cases that led to deaths of all of these child.
Of course.
So another effect is the death of a child. And I don't know if there's any other greatest would I say challenge or problem or effect
other than the death
of
a
one's
young
child. So it is something I want us to look into thoroughly, because it is a really cogent and it is quite alarming at this time. Some of them, low academic performance. You see a child that has been acting or has been quite good in class before, and then it just starts getting low performance. You should sit back and check this child and know why all of these things are happening at that time. So we have so many of them.
Of course, we also do have inferior esteem and low self-esteem.
Yes, we have the what's it called now? We have, like I said, we have depression, we have suicidal thoughts, we have low self-esteem.
They're all just these traumatic experiences that build
anxiety and all of that. So all of these things come together, really have strong effect on our students, our pupils out there. So
thank you, Mr. Jerry, again. And honestly, this and so many more, this issue specifically about bullying is something that parents, teachers, and even religious leaders should take note of, because definitely if we play our part, this will get better. Not because, of course, we are in a generation where moral decadence is coming down, like really running down the drain. But I feel if when parents, teachers, and even religious leaders come together to actually do something, the society will feel it. The society would see that effect with the lives of young ones that are coming up into this generation.
Definitely.
Not because there wouldn't be bad ones, but they will actually reduce,
like to at least a smaller number,
a barest minimum.
Definitely. So
this is a call for every one of us, your parents, teachers, you're listening to us, even religious leaders. Let us play our part in the society. Cases like this should be dealt with seriously. Well, I think I'm glad with the way the school is handling the case. I read some of their press releases and everything, and of course they are taking it seriously, and I'm glad about that. So let us rise up and take up the challenge to ensure that cases like this do not continue in the society. Let us train our children right, instill the right and correct morals into them, because what we build them to be today are what they become tomorrow. So I hope you enjoyed our show. This is the Trend Talk Show with me, Mr. Jerry. My name remains Deborah Oyinloye. Don't forget to like and follow us on our Facebook page, facebook.com/ShilohMediaOnline, and also our YouTube channel, you subscribe, you like, you comment, you share our video, youtube.com/@shiloh media online. Till next time, I really want you to join us next time. See you next time. God bless you. Thank you.